Section 9.5, we are going to start looking at a graph and using it in order to write an equation, or given our slope and our intercept, we're going to write an equation. So we're looking at what is called slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. If we look here, m tells you how we move, b tells you how we begin. So again, your slope will be telling us how to move when we're graphing. Y-intercept tells us where to begin when we're graphing. So if we jump right into some examples here, state the slope and y-intercept of the graph of each equation. So in 1a, we have y equals 3x plus 1. Again, slope is connected to your x. So our slope this time is 3. Your y-intercept is the one that's by itself. It's a plus 1, so it's going to be a positive 1. So right now we're just labeling. Slope is what's connected to your x, tells us how we move. Y-intercept is what's by itself, tells us where to begin. So on our second example, 1b, y equals negative 2x. We see that a negative 2 is connected to our x, so our slope would be negative 2. And we see that there is nothing here, so your y-intercept would be 0, because it's the same as adding 0 when you see nothing. All right, so those two, pretty basic. We're just looking at an equation, labeling our slope and our y-intercept. Now if we look at our next example, state the slope and y-intercept of the graph of negative 4x plus y equals 2. So notice it is not in y equals mx plus b form. It's not in slope-intercept form. So if I bring that down, we need to solve for y. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So we want to solve for y. So how can I move a negative 4x? Well, it's negative, so I want to make it positive. Add it to both sides. So y equals 4x plus 2, since it was a positive 2. And now that we are in slope-intercept form, we can pick out our slope, which is 4, and our y-intercept, which is 2. Again, the slope is what's connected to the x. The intercept is what's by itself once you are into slope-intercept form. Okay, now that we know what slope-intercept form is, what our slope is, what our intercept is, we want to start graphing. We want to graph y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3 using the slope and the y-intercept. So first off, our slope is negative 2/3. That's connected to our x. And our y-intercept, we're adding 3, so our y-intercept is 3. Once we know what our slope and intercept is, we want to start by graphing the y-intercept at the point. If you remember from a couple sections ago, your y-intercept is where your x is 0. So it'd be 0, 3. Hop over to our graph. 0, 3, so we're not going right or left. We're just going to count up 1, 2, 3, and put a point there. Step 3, you're going to use your rise over run, which is your slope, to find another point on the line. Do not go back to the origin. Always go back to your y-intercept. Our slope is negative 2/3, so we can go down 2. So 1, 2, then right, 1, 2, 3. We always want to graph more than 2 points. I know in step 4 it says draw a line through 2 points and extend the line, but we always want to do multiple points just in case we miscounted. So from our new point here, we're going to count down 1, 2, then right, 1, 2, 3. Or we could have gone back to our beginning and counted up 1, 2, and then left 1, 2, 3. I think we can squeeze one more 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I want to draw a line connecting all those points. Make sure you finish it off with.
This is Marshall.
Yes?
Hey, would you just be sure?
Hey, sorry about that interruption there, guys. Just continuing what we were doing. If we look at our little sticky note here, what I was just talking about, it only takes 2 points to determine a line, but it's always wise to plot 3 points to confirm the line, just in case if you miscounted. Then I want you guys to add this in real quick. It should be up here, but we're just gonna, there's a little more room here. So if my slope is negative 2/3, this is our rise over our run. You could also write it as positive 2 positive 2 over a negative 3, which is still our rise over run. In this case, since it is a negative 2, that means we go down 2. Positive 3 tells us we go right 3. The other option then, positive 2 tells us we go up 2. Negative 3 means we go left 3. So that's how we're counting your points. If it's positive, it's up and right. If it's negative, it's down and left. And when you have a negative slope, you can make either your rise or your run negative. If it was positive, you can make them either both positive or both negative. We'll talk about that once we get into a positive slope. And then you'll see we have our little y equals mx plus b song. We are going to watch that in class. Okay, so there's our first example of graphing given our slope-intercept form. So last part of this section, a kite flying 60 feet in the air is falling. The altitude of the kite can be represented by y equals negative x plus 60, where x is the time in seconds. State the slope and y-intercept of the graphs of the equations and describe what they mean. All right, so I've got y equals negative x plus 60. So our slope, you see we have a negative x. So that tells us it's a negative 1. Remember, anytime there's not a number there, that's a 1. So negative 1. And that tells us we are falling at a pace of 1 foot per second. Go back to the original problem to get your units. So falling at 1 foot per second. Your slope should always be a rate, so 2 units. Then our y-intercept so remember the y-intercept is the part that's by itself, so that's going to be 60, and it means that the starting height, remember y-intercept was your b, which stood for beginning. So the starting height of the kite was 60 feet. Okay, so there's an example where we weren't graphing it, we were just picking out your y-intercept and your slope and describing what they meant. We're going to be doing a lot more of the descriptions because that's what you guys will see on tests, both in class and on the state test. So we're going to practice describing. All right, that's the end of this section.